Specifically with managed alcohol programs, there has to be a history of alcohol abuse that has typically failed other abstinent programs that have been available. The other issue with it too is typically the individuals who are in these programs have had complications from the alcohol abuse, other in the fact of physical complications, psychiatric complications, or they get to the point where they're experiencing poverty, are now homeless, and so are also facing other barriers from their social determinants. Because we see many of these people coming through the emergency departments, getting admitted to hospital, and a lot of times they're not provided the same care as another individual, mostly because of their addiction.
Right.
And a lot of times we don't see some of the reasons why they may have missed the appointment, why they may need to leave the hospital against medical advice.
Mhm.
And a lot of times it's around dealing with withdrawal, with the addiction, with that kind of cycle of poverty.
So I don't imagine that there's 100% public buy-in on providing alcohol to alcoholics. What's your experience with that?
The experience that we've been seeing across the country is actually a very positive experience.
Mhm.
We start to see, mostly for the individual, we see improved quality of life.
Right.
They feel better. Most of the times, they actually end up consuming less alcohol through these types of programs. But then even on the social side of things, we're seeing people reconnect with family that they may have not talked to in years.
Mhm.
Um, we're also seeing people use less of the judicial system, less in run-ins with law enforcement. And then also they end up using less acute care medical services. And we see the shift of the services more to planned medical care, which ultimately is a much easier way to provide care instead of just dealing with crisis care. So we're starting to see a big shift with individuals.
Go to kilobyscenter.com, Radical Recovery Summit, for access to the interviews. You can watch them free online for 48 hours after they air, or you could purchase an all-access pass. kilobyscenter.com.